Hi everybody, my name is Ron Cantor and you're watching Out of Zion on God TV. And today we're on the Sea of Galilee. So much New Testament history took place in the cities around this big giant lake. I think of Matthew 14 verse 22 where Yeshua walks on water. The Bible says immediately Jesus made the disciples get into the boat and go ahead of him to the other side, where he dismissed the crowd. After he had dismissed them, he went up on a mountainside by himself to pray. When evening came, he was there alone, but the boat was already a considerable distance from the land, buffeted by the waves because of the wind that was against it. During the fourth watch of the night, he went out to them walking on the lake. When the disciples saw him walking on the lake, they were terrified. "It's a ghost," they cried out in fear. But Yeshua immediately said to them, "Take courage, it is I, don't be afraid." "Lord, if it's you," Peter replied, "tell me to come to you on the water." "Come," Yeshua said. Then Peter got down out of the boat and he walked on the water, and he came toward Jesus. But then he saw the wind and he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried out, "Lord, save me." And the Lord reached out his hand and saved him. You know, a lot of people focus on the fact that Peter fell in the water. I don't focus on that. I focus on the simple zeal of Peter, that he was willing to take a chance to walk on the water. And you know what Peter did that you've never done and I've never done? He walked on this water. When I was a brand new believer, I heard a radio preacher talk about challenging people to just take some oil and pray for people. He talked about a guy who took that challenge, went to a hospital, started praying for people, they started getting healed. Then he saw a dead body. He put oil on it and it came back to life. And because of that, they arrested him. They took him, they put him in jail, and but they never took his oil. And he began to share with people in the jail. People began to get saved. And I heard that story. I got so excited. I took some oil and I went to a local hospital. And I just started, 19 years old, just started going room to room praying for people. And after a while, they kicked me out. But not before somebody prayed to receive the Lord. And when my friends heard about that, they kind of laughed at that, like, oh, the simple zeal of young Ron. But you know what? I never saw it that way. I can't tell you if God told me to do that or didn't tell me to do it, but I love the simple zeal of a new believer who reads the stories of the Bible and says, why can't I do that? You can do that. I can do that. Peter walked in this water. Make sure you go to god.tv so you never miss an episode. And you can find me at roncantor.com. Shalom from the Sea of Galilee.